Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about lichen. So lichens are basically an association of a fungus and an algae in which both the organisms intertwine to form a single thallus called as consortium. Consortium basically here we are talking about a single thallus. So thallus basically means where you cannot differentiate between a root, stems and a leaf. So basically there is no tissue differentiation is known as a thallus. So the fungal partner is your known as mycobiont. The term myco is there. So myco is always associated with fungus. So mycobiont means the fungal component, and phyco is associated with algae. So the term used is phycobiont. Now it is cosmopolitan in nature, so the distribution is cosmopolitan, that is found almost everywhere. Now here one thing to keep in mind, lichens are very sensitive to pollution. So wherever lichens are grown, so lichens basically grow, you can clearly say that that particular area is least polluted. So it grows on leaves, barks of trees, bare rocks, soils and other surfaces. So let us see the structure of a thallus in lichens. So the plant body is thalloid, as we said that we cannot differentiate between the roots, stems and leaves. Usually gray or grayish green in color, but some are red, yellow and range in different colors. Now let us see the external structure of thallus. So Hawksworth and Hill in 1984 described the following types. So he described there are 5 types. One is your Lapras, the other is your Crustaceous, then we have Foliose, then we have Ferticos, and last but not the least is the Filamentous. So let us see one by one. So Lapras lichens is the most simplest type. As you can see in the diagram, there's on the bark of the tree, the second diagram that you see, that is on the bark of the tree, and they are somewhat powdery masses on the substratum. So where the fungal mycelium envelops either single or small clusters of algal cells. Now the algal cell does not envelop all over by the fungal hyphae. Example is, as I said, that it's basically a type of powdery mass. So you can see in the figure, and the example is your Lepraria incana. Let us see the crustose lichens. So they are the term crustose means something hard or on the surface. Okay, so if you see, basically we talk about rock surface, earth's crust, and also that is a hard layer. So if you see in the figure, the second figure, if you see there, you can see they form a flat on the surface of the rock. So appears as a thin layer on crust on substratum like barks, stones, rocks, etc. So example is basically Leconaria and Lecidia are some of the examples of crustose lichens. Then we have foliose. The term foliose is basically associated with leaf-like. So if you can see in the figure, there you can see basically it is a leaf-like and it has lobes around it. So leaf-like lichens, which where thallus is flat, horizontally spread and with lobes. Now thallus are attached to the substratum by means of rhizens. So rhizens are basically developing from the lower surface and helps in the anchorage of the lichen. In this case it's the foliose lichen. Then we have Fruticos. It is a shrubby lichen, as you can see in the figure. Now what happens on the inner side of it, they have a disc. So with the help of disc they attach themselves to the substratum. Now where thalli are well developed, cylindrically branched, shrub-like, erect, growth is some are there, which example is Cladonia, or hang from the substratum in case of Usnea. They are attached to the substratum by means of a basal disc. Then we have the last one, that is your filamentous fungus. So the term filamentous is there, so you can see in the figure they are some kind of a filament. Now algal members are filamentous and well developed. Now the algal filaments remain unsheathed or covered by only a few fungal hyphae, and here please remember the algal partner is the dominant one. Remember when we talked about the first part, that is lichens are association between an algae and a fungus. So in this case the algal partner is more dominant. Example is your Rhacodium. Let us see a little bit of internal structure of the thallus. Now based on the distribution of algal member inside the thallus, the lichens are divided into 2 types. One is your homoisomerous or homomerous, and the other is your heteromeros. Now in homoisomerous, the term homo is there, so that means it is uniform. So in this case the fungal hyphae and the algal cells are more or less uniformly distributed throughout the thallus. Example are the members of Cyanophyta. Now here in case of heteromeros, the term hetero is there, so that means clearly it's telling that there is some differentiation. So in this case it is differentiated into 4 distinct layers, that is your upper cortex, algal zone, medulla and lower cortex. So let us see the structure of it. So the first structure is basically the homoisomerous lichen, where you can see algae and fungal are more or less uniformly distributed. However, in the case of heteromerous thallus, you can see it has upper cortex, algal layer, then medulla and lower cortex. So upper layer is basically thick in structure and it consists of compactly arranged fungal hyphae. Next followed is the algal layer. So the term algal layer is there, so obviously you are expected to get more of algae in this particular layer. Then we have the medulla is below the algal zone. Here some amount of loosely interwoven fungal hyphae are there, and the lowermost layer is consist of, you can see on the lower side, you can see rhizomes are there on the lowermost cortex. So this helps in the anchorage of the substratum, anchorage of the lichens to the substratum. So this was all about the internal structure. So let us see a little bit of importance of lichens. So lichens are used as food and fodder. Example is Parmelia, then Cladonia is there, which are Cladonia rangifera is used as a fodder for animal feed and all, and Parmelia is used as a food. Then in case of medicine is Loberia pulmonaria is an example. So the term pulmonaria is there. So this particular lichen has something associated with the lung disorders. So basically for the treatment of lung disorders, this can be used. Then we have in the tanning industry is Cetraria islandica, that is for leather tanning. Then besides this, we have brewery and distillation, where you can see example we have given as Asnia florida, which is used for the preparation of alcohol. So these are some of the importance of lichen. Although the list is not exhaustive, you can add more on your own. So this was all about your lichen. Thank you very much and have a nice time. And if you like my video, then please do subscribe.